Vikings' ancestors called Heruli, and it was written in the year 500 about Heruli. And it was written they were going to battles all naked, just covered with some bear fur or wolf fur, and they were nasty to others. They went through all walls, trees, everything. Sometimes they even killed themselves. Of course, I'm talking about Bärsärkare. And Heruli was an elite force in Rome, but later years Berserkers was the elite force in the Viking area. And they were the protectors of jarls and kings and everything. They were really popular just because they were like animals. When they started to fight, they become like animals. They howled. And sometimes they got so excited and so they killed their own people. So often they were putting the berserker in front of everyone else to start a battle alone, so no one of their own got hurt. Bärsärkare, there were two different kinds. There was wolfheatens, in Swedish ulfhedningar, and berserkare. And the wolfheatens, they were covered in wolf fur, and they were together in packs, just like the wolves. And berserkare, they were like bears. So they run around in bear fur. Berserkare have sworn their own to Odin, and he was Odin's warriors, they said. Berserkare, the name is from bearsärk. Särk is clothing today. We can compare it, bear clothing. And they had a lot of rituals before you can become a berserker or a ulfheden, because then you had to change your name, like Beowulf, for an example. His name, some can compare it to. One other story is Eivor saga. And then we also have Harald Hårfager, who has a companion with ulfhedningar with him in one of his tales. They are mentioned a lot, and they said when they went to this rage statement that some say it was eating mushrooms, and some say some herbs. They have found some herbs. I don't know it in the English name, the herb, but I'm going to text it in the comments. And with this herb, you couldn't feel pain. You could walk through fire, and you didn't recognize faces. So maybe that's why they attacked their own, because they couldn't recognize if they were their own or if it was the enemy. But either way, there are a lot of stories around them, and it's a lot of stuff that is not mentioned about them either. But one thing is for sure, in Sweden we still say bergsärkargång, and that means that we do something without regret, without pain, without anything at all. We just do it, whatever the cost. And it's the same in England, going berserk. So we still have those left in our countries today. It's just that people don't understand what it means. So now I'm going to take my little paper, and I'm going to tell you some of the artifacts around where you can find this berserkare and ulfhedningar. So for one example, we have have the rune stone, VG 56. This stone after Gaur, his father. And then we have the painting in Kiev, the year 1000. Berserkare is mentioned in so many stories, in and off. But one thing is for sure, they only had an axe, long axe, and a little small light shield. And the ulfhedningar, they had a spear, and they had the wolf fur. That's the only thing that is certain. They are mentioned they are naked, but of course going to battle without the helmet and armor and everything, then you say they are kind of naked. So of course they had clothing if it was cold, but they had their beer stuff on. That's for sure. Thank you all for watching today, and don't go berserker!